Lavender is one of the must-haves in every aromatherapist kit. It's almost good for everything. So if I had to pick one essential oil to take to desert island with me, then it would be definitely lavender. Lavender was extensively used by Romans in their baths, and the word lavender comes from the Roman word lavere, which means to wash. Lavender blends very well with all essential oils. And for example, when I'm making a blend and I feel the blend is a little bit off, then I usually would add 1 drop of lavender oil, mainly Lavandula angustifolia, and that usually fixes the problem and kind of adds a bit of a zing to the blend. Lavender is also one of the adaptogenic essential oils, meaning if you, for example, have a high blood pressure, it will lower it, and other way around. Let's have a look what is lavender good for. But I have to tell you what you might know as lavender. There are actually 3 species used in aromatherapy, namely Lavandula angustifolia, also called true lavender, Lavandula latifolia, also called spike lavender, and the last but not the least, Lavandula ex intermediata. This is basically a cross between Lavandula angustifolia and Lavandula latifolia. Basically, you get the best of the 2 plants in one. Okay, so let's have a look and see what exactly what are the properties of lavender essential oils, and how it blends with the other oils, and also we will shortly have a look at the chemical profile. So basically, we're starting with the true lavender essential oils. As you can see, it's just always look at the profile of the essential oils. So basically, the chemical profile says it's about 45 esters and 36 alcohols, and that immediately tells me that this is like calming, uplifting, and balancing oil. So it's really good for the skin, and has a generally pleasant smell, and it's a really good oil for everyday prevention. Oils that contain lots of esters and alcohols are generally antifungal and anti-inflammatory, antispasmodic, cell-generating, nervine, and sedative. So they're really good for skin and also for wound healing. As you can see, the oil is cell regenerating and good for all skin complaints such as acne, eczema, sunburn, hair loss, scars, stretch marks, insect bites, and so on and so on. So, but it's also a sedative and decongestant, and so it's good for general aches and pains, cold and flu, rheumatism, anxiety, and insomnia. So it blends very well with all other oils. As already mentioned, if my blend is off, I would just usually add 1 drop of lavender essential oil, and then this usually kind of balances out the blend. So a really good oil just to add to any kind of blend. But as I said, it blends really well with bergamot and chamomile and clary sage. I like it really with clary sage. It gives like a really nice herbal aroma. And yeah, so kind of you can experiment. So true lavender is probably one of the oils that you definitely want to have in your kit. So we're moving on to the spike lavender. And spike lavender is generally more camphoric, so it has when you're looking at the profile, you will see there's like a 32% alcohols and 50% ketones, and ketones are generally the workhorses of the aromatherapy, so they're definitely not ones to be used on every day. So they're not to be used on a prolonged use anyway, so like they can be neurotoxic, and definitely should be used with caution, especially in pregnancy. But they're really good oils for they have an analgesic property. So like if you need like a painkiller, like a mild painkiller, it's really good. So lavender spike, because it has contains a camphor, as you can see here, some of the constituents. It's really good to add to any kind of cold and flu blends. So if you see here, it's a good for pain and colds and muscle pain, inflammation. So any kind of any kind of wherever you need like a painkiller, or especially mild painkiller, you should definitely include spike lavender. For this, it kind of blends very well with bergamot, with chamomile, clary sage again, pretty much kind of similar as the lavandula angustifolia. So good oil for any kind of aches and pains or any kind of mild pain. It's a good mild painkiller. It has definitely more camphoric scent, whereas lavandula, true lavender, or lavandula angustifolia is more like a flowery scent. And then let's have a look at the lavandin, or the lavandula ex intermediata. So another one, like this is just basically the cross between the lavandula, the true lavender, and the spike lavender, and so you basically get the best of the two worlds. And when we're looking at the chemical profile, it has a 30% esters, 45 alcohols, 10% ketones, and approximately 6% monoterpenes. So you can see this is like a really good blend of the two, with the esters and alcohols, which are good for good antibacterial oils and good skin oils for wound healing. And you also have 10% of ketones, which are actually the workhorses of the aromatherapy, so they're good for aches and pain. So like if you cannot decide if you should get the true lavender or the spike lavender, then I would say get the lavandin. It has also smell like a slightly camphoric smell, so it's not as pleasant as lavender angustifolia. But it's also good oil to use on kids, on elderly people, because especially if it's for respiratory infections, or just general, I just like to create like a blend as a general tonic. And I like to use it as well for colds and flus, because it also kind of helps you to sleep, but it still has enough ketones to be like a mild painkiller. So this is what it has to be, what I can tell you about lavender essential oil. So like lavender essential oil, so any of these three would actually be great to have in your aroma kit. So you're not an aromatherapist if you have not at least two of the lavender, if you don't even have like any of those in your aroma kit. So if you would have to get one oil, then it would be definitely a lavender oil.